What's up, everyone? This is your boy Sipiwe Yolambata. I'm back again with a new episode. You know, I'm in the beautiful Midrank in Johannesburg, South Africa. I'm so excited about this episode because I'll be interviewing a female entrepreneur and she's doing very well. You're gonna learn a lot from this video. Come, let's go and meet her. Sis Rulani, thank you for taking your time to meet me. I know you are a very, very, very busy entrepreneur, you know. So I appreciate, you taking this time to meet me. So who are you?
My name is Rulani Hlungwani, born and bred in Limpopo, Giyani. I'm a mother of two handsome boys. I've been in Joburg, I think, since 1998.
Wow.
Matriculated 98. Matriculated 98. And then 99, I was in vet tech. And then I did my national diploma in food service management. And then from there, I did my in-service training at a place in Woodmead. It used to be called Keg and Vine. It was a pub. I worked for a month, and then after that, they promoted me to be the manager. And 8 months later, I moved to Ford Motor Company. Believe it or not, I used to wear overalls and build cars. Then it was the Mazda 3, it was still new, the Ford Icon and the Volvo and so on. And I grew from there and moved to Mercedes-Benz. And from Mercedes-Benz, I went to Simba, moved to Cape Town. I worked for G4S, I worked for Imperial, and I came back to Joburg. And yeah, I think that's my career life. And I went to, I think that's basically it. And then, came back to Joburg and I worked for PPC. So that's where my entrepreneur journey started.
Wow. Like you went here, you went here.
Yes.
Like, so in terms of your business, because I understand that you own a company called Bold Pearl.
Yes.
So what is Bold Pearl?
Okay, so Bold Pearl, let me start by explaining how it started.
Yes.
So when I came back from Cape Town after I worked for Imperial and worked for PPC, I started buying shoes and handbags in China, and I started selling them.
So you were importing the handbags.
Yes.
And the...
In fact, what happened is I took 1,000 rand and I bought handbags in Joburg CBD and for 80 rand each, and I started selling them. And then 3 months later, I was importing shoes and handbags from China.
Wow.
So that's how the business started. And then one day I was having a conversation with one of my cousins, and she told me, she's in the events industry. She said, there's these chairs called Tiffany chairs that everyone wants, but they're very expensive. And I said, how much is expensive? She's like, around 400 rand. It was on a Sunday. Monday, I started Googling, what is this Tiffany chairs? Tuesday, I took an overdraft for 30,000 rand. Thursday, my chairs had arrived in Joburg. And Saturday, I had my first booking. So that's how I started the event. I started in the events industry.
So what kind of chairs are Tiffany chairs? Is it like the one we are sitting on?
No, it's some elegant, beautiful chairs.
No, I don't know much about chairs.
Made out of resin material.
Yes.
That you will get in weddings. Most weddings, they use them. They come in different colors. And then the clear ones, the clear glass ones were the in thing. But now we have grown to have over 50 types of chairs, over 5,000 chairs. So, we've grown from that.
Viewers, sorry if you hear a sound of airplanes, in the background. We are not far from an airport, so that's why, we apologize for that. So you mentioned that you bought bags and from town, then you started importing from China.
Yes.
Then you now moved and you started your own business where you bought Tiffany chairs. But I would like to know, was your business registered at this point, or you registered after,
Look, when it all started, I was still in corporate.
Yes.
And it didn't make sense for me to register then, because I didn't know whether this business, not that I didn't believe in myself, but I wanted to see where the business would go. So I was caught in between growing in corporate and running my business. But little did I know that the business will start overtaking my career life, my corporate life. It got into a stage where, it was also affecting my work at PPC. So I had to make a decision that, as much as the business cannot pay me what PPC is giving me right now, but this thing has got a potential. So that's when I decided, you know what, I'm gonna quit. And we opened a warehouse in Galaka Business Park, not far from here. And yeah, we started running from there. And by God's grace, it's just started growing and growing and growing and growing. And yeah, that's where we are right now. We currently have branches and planning to open more branches from here.
I'm sitting with the big, female entrepreneur. So I would like to know this. So what does Bold Pelt do? Because I'm sure, viewers now are asking themselves, okay, you are speaking about the growth, but what does it do exactly?
Okay, so we started by hiring equipment. So what we basically do is there's lots of events planners that goes and do parties and weddings and so on. But we've got variety, so they can come and hire whatever they want from us and choose what they need for that event. So that is our core business. And then we do catering. We cater mostly for corporates. And then we also do deco, which is a little bit of our business, because most of our clients, they do that. We're not big in weddings, but we're very big in corporate. And then the new baby currently in our departments, it's the cleaning and decontamination of spaces, meaning fumigation, fogging, and with the COVID currently in South Africa. So that's what we do. So we do houses, we do corporates, we do warehouses, and so on.
So basically, Bold Pelt, it's an events company.
Yes.
So if, let's say, I have a function, whether it's a wedding or whether it's a business function, and I'm looking for equipment, so you come and then you set up that venue.
Okay, so we give you an option. You can say to us that, you know what, I want to be creative, I want to go home and do it myself. And then we say, okay, you can choose what you want, go and do it yourself. Or we can also assist you by delivering, or you come and pick up. The option, we give you that option. Or you can say, you know what, I just want to have fun. We sit with you, you consult, and you say, okay, this is what I would like to have on that day, and we note it down. On that day we come in, we clean, we set up, and then you have your event. After that we come back and pick up whatever belongs to us. We make sure that your place is spotless.
So you mentioned that there's an option whereby you do set up the venue. Yes. And there's an option where I just come and hire the
equipment.
But what's fascinating to me is the growth of the business. Like, how do you do it? Because I'm sure that many people would like to get into the events sector, but I'm sure it's highly competitive. But in terms of growth, how do you do it? For you to grow to be the company, now it has a warehouse, but like, how did you get there?
Look, my father is a firm believer in education. And you need to upgrade yourself. So you need to know what is new, what is it that your client wants. I see many people that comes in here that we started together. Some we grow together, but some are still stagnant. You need to teach yourself every day. You need to research every day. You need to know what your clients wants. You need to have processes and procedures in your business. Meaning, if today I were to have a warehouse assistant, right, and they get sick, God forbid, someone else needs to be able to have a manual and say, this is how it needs to be done. And also, the other thing is you need to make sure that you know your numbers. So as a business, if you were to pick up any item in my warehouse, as much as we've got over 1,000 items in the warehouse, I'll be able to tell you how much we've bought this for, and if this item has paid itself or not. Many entrepreneurs, you buy and a client comes and say, I don't have money, can you give me a discount? Because you need money, especially now during COVID. You need money urgently. You're like, okay, you can take it. I know how my equipment depreciates. I know that I need to hire a teaspoon, this type of a teaspoon, 5 times before I can start making my money. So you need to start running your business like a business. If you don't know your numbers, there's no way that your business is going to grow, because you can always think that you're making money and you are not making money. I know my numbers. I can tell you that my salaries are this much, my expenses are this much, and in February 2013, I've got records where I can go back and say, okay, that month I've made profit of this much, or I've run at a loss. I know that which are the months that for the last 3 years I've been running at a loss. I know which time of the year when to buy what. So that's how I run my business. I take it serious, and people always laugh because I say, you know, I run this business like it's gonna be in stock exchange one day. And I believe that, deep down I believe that. And it doesn't have to be ball pal events. One of the businesses that I own, that's where I think it's gonna go one day. So treat it like that, your business will treat you the same.
So it's very important for people to know their numbers.
You need to know your numbers. You need to have processes and procedures. You need to take care of your human resources. So those are the 3 things that will help your business grow.
And know the equipment within your business, because I'm sure many people you will take money in your business. Oh, let me go and pour petrol today. Oh, let me, you treat your business as if it's a
it is a business.
And many business failures are caused because there's the owner and the business, they are not separate. It's like they are, my business, I can just take mine. Oh, let me buy it, but you don't pay us. There's no proper order.
There was a time when I would walk in Mall of Africa and I'll see a pair of shoes that I love and I'll just swipe because it's I've got money, right? But I have learned that if my personal account has 2 rand, that's the money that I own. I'm not stealing from Ball Pal anymore. You understand? If in the beginning of the year I've written down the budget and the budget says I need to spend this much on marketing and the business is not doing well, I'm going to stick to that. You must have your goals. You need to know where you will be in the next 2 years. Many people, they're just running their businesses. You don't know that in the month of October, what is it that you want to achieve? You can't run a business like that. I have been taught at a very young entrepreneur age that if you run a business, you need to make sure that in a day you reach 1 customer. That's very important and powerful, because if I were to reach 1 customer in a day, imagine in a year how many customers you will have reached. So you need to learn from that. Treat your business like a business. It will treat you back the same.
Well, I like that you are saying that you have to reach 1, because I'm sure many business people, when they approach 10 people and they get rejected by those 10 people, they give up. But even if you approach 100 people and then 1 at least says, yes, you have a customer.
Which is true. But remember, those that are saying no, you should not be discouraged, because it can be a no today. Tomorrow will be a yes. 2 years from now can be a yes. There are people that I have met in the beginning of my career, and they come here, they're like, no, I remember you were still very young. You used to keep chairs in your sitting room, and you only had 200 chairs. And today you are this big. We are very proud of you. Why? It was a no then, and today it's a yes. So if a person says, as long as you have reached that one person, that person, one day they will remember you. Not all of them, obviously, but it will not always be a no. Some of them, it will change and be a yes.
So I would like to ask you, this question. So when you started with the Tiffany chairs that you were importing, so do you import your equipment overseas? The one that you have currently?
Not everything.
Oh, okay.
We always need to support local suppliers.
Yes.
So I will say 80% of the stuff I buy locally, and the 20% I outsource all over the world. Not even in China, wherever. I outsource all over the world.
So when you say you outsource, do you mean that there's companies that actually create these kind of chairs and then you will buy the chairs from them?
Yes.
Okay.
That's correct. So I spend quite a lot of time online. I've built lots of relationships outside South Africa, and they come in handy. The guys that I deal with in China, people always want to feel a sense of belonging. I've never met some of them, but I know their families. I know when they've got events and so on. So it comes in handy because, these are the people that I cannot always go to India if I want chafing dishes, for example. But I know that if I call Mohammed in India, and say, look, I've seen something else somewhere else. Can you go and check if this supplier is genuine? He will go all out for me because I always say, oh, how's your little daughter today? So that's how I build my relationships. I make it personal and I take care of them like they are my sisters and brothers. So that's how I build my relationships.
I think a lot of entrepreneurs, we can learn a lot from this, from what you said, because you don't just treat people like they're numbers, but you actually care, for the people, and you're building relationships with people, and that comes in handy, especially in business.
Yeah, very true. Because as much as we do business, behind the business there's a human being, and that will want you to say, how are you feeling today? Are you okay? And people will go all out for you just by saying, someone, I was having this conversation with someone who was saying, if you learn other languages and you imagine going to China and now you greet them in their language, they will be very happy to say, oh, she's from Africa, and they will go all out for you. So that's how I build my relationships with my suppliers and my clients.
Wow. I would like to start here. Let me ask you this question. Because I'm really fascinated. I would like to know how you got where you are. And I'm sure a lot of people as well who are watching would we can see she's a big entrepreneur, but I would like to know the steps when you bought them. Because I love the fact that you mentioned you were in corporate. And then you took the money from corporate and then you started buying the bags. Then you had, there's an opportunity, in Tiffany chairs. Then you invested in that and you were able to hire them out and get money in return. But when you started, where were you working from home? Where were you working from?
I was working from home. Like I was saying, I was treating my business like, it's extra money. In fact, the reason why I was interested in the business, it was the time when the fuel price was going up every month. It was just going up. And I knew that my salary, there's no way that my salary is going to sustain me. I needed extra cash. So it started by, okay, a person will come and they will take 20 chairs. I'll get 200 rand out of that. For me, that was fuel money. But I started having a vision. I started dreaming, and in the beginning of the interview we mentioned the many companies that I have worked for. I was a job hopper when I was in corporate, so I was never fulfilled. So I would work for a company 1 year and I would move to another one, and so on and so on. So but I grew from that because I started having a vision. I started putting goals for myself. and I made sure that I achieved them. And by doing that, I didn't see that, the business is growing. By the time I realized, oh, this is what I have done in the last 2 years, then the business was big.
Also, in the beginning, it was more of like a way to get extra income.
Yes.
But then you ended up growing because of maybe you are a people's person, and people actually liked your service in terms of they would come to you and you'd get money from that. And then you ended up investing in a place.
Yes, and then we started growing. We started employing more people. I started looking at the numbers now, and I started learning and understanding the numbers, upgrading myself and my staff, and you'll be surprised where the business will grow. Will go from there.
So I hear what you're saying, in terms of the growth, how you grew from, it was no longer just about getting extra income, but it now turned into like a business you are passionate about. So actually, with us, like I don't know much about the events business. Normally you go to an event, you just see chairs there, But what kind of chairs are they? What's the name of the equipment? Even the chair I'm sitting on, what's it called?
So there's different types. We always say that we've got my perfect wedding kind of chairs, and we've got top billing stock. So what we're basically saying is we've got your high end and we've got your affordable. So when a client comes, the first interaction, that's the first thing that you need to find out. People are not comfortable if you ask them what's your budget, right? But sometimes you have to if it's not coming out. So from their budget, you'll be able to know where to take them in the warehouse, to show them, and where to move them around inside the warehouse. So there's Tiffany chairs, there's Phoenix chairs, there's Wimbledon chairs, there's couches. And with us, our couches, you choose between leather, suede, velvet. You want your velvet in red or in pink or in blue. So there's variety. Hence, we've got a big warehouse where people can choose whatever they want. And the good thing is we've also started, if you do come to the warehouse and you want a gold padded chair, which is a chair that has a gold rim on the side, and we have it in white, and you're like, but it will look nice in pink. We are able to remove the white and put the pink for you. If you're like, no, I want it in royal blue, we can be able to do that. So we've become flexible. We've learned a lot about the business. We read a lot about the business. We interact. Mostly the people that comes in here are events planners. So these are our customers. They will say, but why don't you have this? If one client comes in and say, okay, I want a certain type of cutlery, and I'm like, okay, and I start looking on social media, and that cutlery starts coming up, and the second customer comes, and so on. If I get at least 5 customers that wants the same thing, and this thing I can see it trending on social media, then I decide to go and buy, which is another thing that helps the business grows, because there's lots of different things that are out there in the market. But if as an entrepreneur or as the owner of the business, you decide you're just gonna buy anything and everything, then your cash flow, it affects your cash flow. Now you end up having lots of items that are slow movers, that are sitting in your warehouse. You don't know what to do with those items. So you need to have a method to say, when do I buy, when do I not buy? Because if you're going to buy because another events company, they've got this type of a chair, and you want it as well because you think they are making money, it's not going to work out. You need to know, why do you need to buy that chair? How much is the demand on that chair? And then you go back to your numbers and say, okay, my budget for this year for buying equipment is 200,000, and I've already spent 150,000. So what happens to the 50,000? How are you going to do it? You start hiring out from other people and see if it becomes a fast mover, then you can decide you want to buy the item. Because you will see also when you go to our warehouse, you will see there are some type of chairs that we've got 1,200 of the same type and color, but there are some chairs that we only have one type or two types, so that are 50 or 60. It's because we look at the demand from the supplier, from the customers.
Wow. I can see that you know a lot about this business. I can see the passion, that you have.
6 years experience.
I can see. I'm seeing some nice awards. So can you tell me about the awards that Pelt has won? Because I'm seeing some beautiful stuff next to us here.
Smiwe, this is my pride. I keep this in my office, and when you just cannot do it anymore and you remember, this is a reminder. The middle one, I won it while I was still at PPC. It was the newcomer of the year, meaning for everyone that was employed in that year, I was the outstanding one.
Wow.
So yeah,
so it's when you were still working in corporate.
Yes, when I was still in corporate.
So what are you doing at PPC?
My background is supply chain. I've got an honors degree, BCom, and an honors degree in strategic supply chain.
Yes.
So I was in the procurement department. So yeah.
Nice. Wow. And then this one?
This one, I received it at Race Corp during my first year. It's Spirit of Race Corp. In fact, both of them are Spirit of Race Corp. What this award is for, it's for, when against all odds, you managed to do it. So that's
for business.
Yes, in business.
Both
awards, I was at Race Corp, which is very demanding. It's school, lots of work, assignments, classes, and remember I told you I've got 2 boys?
Yes.
Both times I was pregnant, and it was difficult to run a business, go to school pregnant, and so on and so on. And yeah, I was awarded my firstborn and my secondborn the Spirit of Race Corp, meaning that against all odds, hard as it was, I made it.
Wow. And then this one at the back?
So this was for the Diamonds Awards, still PPC. I was nominated as the newcomer of the year.
Wow. And I understand that there's more because we couldn't fit them.
Yes, we couldn't put all of them in here. But these are the ones that are very close to my heart. Sure.
I think we might even need a part 2 of the interview to even speak, because there's so many things that, I'm sure viewers are learning about entrepreneurship. We didn't just speak about Pelt, but you also opened your heart to educate people about being an entrepreneur, that it is not just, you have to know your business, you have to know your numbers, you have to, also
your processes and procedures.
Yes,
you must reach one person per day, in marketing, and that doesn't cost you lots of money.
Sure.
Just tell one person about your business per day, and you will see the difference.
Wow. What would you like to say to people watching the video? I'm sure there's young entrepreneurs now, or there's people who would like to go into, who would like to be entrepreneurs. It doesn't have to be events, any business, but what would you like to say to entrepreneurs?
I would like to tell them that entrepreneurship, it's not simple, but it's doable. Find something that you love. Don't do it because Rulani is doing it. What God has given me as a gift might not be what He has given you. We all have our own talents. Find that talent.
So everyone has a specific gift that God has given them.
Yes. Find your own and flourish in that. My pastor always say, flourish in your own little corner. And if you will want to be Rulani, right? I'm already existing. You can't be me. Be yourself, And also, those who knows me, they will know that I always say, "Hischangan bari, hambing kukunga ringi ritasha." Direct translation from to English is, even if the cock doesn't crow, the sun will rise. Meaning, even if today you do not see hope, or you can't see your business growing. As long as you're doing it right, you will see the difference in the future. You will see the growth as long as you're doing it religiously and you're doing it right. Treat your business like a business, it will do the same.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. It was lovely meeting you and having this chat with you. And I'm sure the viewers as well, they've learnt a lot and they are happy. From me, your boy, Sipiwe Yolambata. Please don't forget to subscribe to watch more videos from Favor Media. Miss Runani, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Cheers, guys. Thank you so much.